Mike Delisio from Solo Mode Games. Today I'm going to be doing a solo playthrough of the game Ocean Crisis from Shepherd's Kit Games. This is a game where you are trying to clean up trash that is inching ever closer to the beach and eventually into the ocean. This is a cooperative game where you are trying to work together, or in the solo game, utilize your resources efficiently to try to clean up trash, get special powers to make you more efficient at that trash cleanup. And I'm also going to be playing today with a particular mission called the Dolphin Rescue Mission, just so you can get an idea of how that plays as well. I'll explain the rules as we go along, and I think you'll have a pretty good idea of how the game is played as soon as we get started. So let's head on over to the table and take a look at Ocean Crisis. Okay, here we have the solo setup for Ocean Crisis. And in the solo game, there really is not any different element to set up because this is a pure co-op game. And so in any game, no matter how many people are playing, solo, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're always going to have a total of 10 meeples that are available to you as workers. And the order of who goes really is only going to matter at one point in the game, and I'll point that out when we get to it. So what I've done is I've gone with the standard difficulty setup, okay? And you can adjust this depending on what type of difficulty you want. And so with the standard difficulty, this is the only round when it tells you specifically which tiles to put where, or which difficulty tiles to put where. And so, for example, here it's saying that in the beach area, you're going to have 2 3-strength tiles and 2 4-strength tiles. And so I went ahead and already placed those over here. And then in area 2, you have 1 4-strength tile, which I've got there. And in area 1, you've got a 5, a 4, and a 4. So I've already done that. After that, you're going to be drawing some random tiles out of this lovely bag here, and you don't know what strength they're going to be. It's only in this first round that you have an indication of where the strength is going, of what the strength is going to be, okay? I did want to mention that in addition to just playing the base game on a standard difficulty, I've decided to add a mission to the game. This is the Dolphin Rescue Mission here, okay? And so what this is going to allow us to do is just add a little bit of variety to this game. And so you can see the mission, this particular mission objective is to save a dolphin that is stranded on the beach. And you want to do that within 3 rounds. You want to bring the dolphin to the hospital, and then once the dolphin is at the hospital, you want to take a team member there to help heal that dolphin. And once you've done that, now you've got a dolphin friend that can help you in later rounds, and I'll show you how that can happen. So the only aspect of setup involved with that is to have the mission card here, and then to place this adorable dolphin meeple on the beach. All right, and so I've done that. So we are basically ready to go. The only thing left to do, I did forget one aspect, so I'll go ahead and do that now, is there are some potentially bonus neutral workers that you can get. So I'm just right now kind of grabbing those while we're setting up here. So right here you have a place where 1 potentially extra neutral worker can be retrieved, and here you have 2 potential bonus workers that can be retrieved, and we may do that on a point throughout the game. And so when we get to the point where you could get to them, I'll explain it, all right? Otherwise, we're ready to go, and we can look at our lovely information card here that's going to kind of tell us how things go. So the setup phase in the first round is a little bit predetermined. Like I said, we put out particular numbered tokens, and then we're going to go to the planning phase. So let's just talk a little bit about what is happening in Ocean Crisis. Well, the theme of the game is that we are trying to clean up the ecosystem in and around the beach, and we do not want these trash tokens to get to Garbage Island down here. The way that we lose the game is if 6 pieces of garbage end up on Garbage Island. We have lost the game if we allow that to happen, and so we certainly don't want that to happen. We win the game if we get through 6 rounds without 6 pieces of garbage getting onto Garbage Island. And so the win condition is simply we make it through 6 rounds. The lose condition is if we get 6 pieces of garbage on Garbage Island. So we want to make sure that we don't let that happen, all right? Now, the way I'm going to kind of do this is I've got these 5 different colored meeples down here. I've got the yellow, the blue, the I guess I don't know if it would be red or pink, it doesn't much matter, the green and the brown. And throughout most of the game, it's going to be kind of just placing them to different areas, and I'll explain how that works. The only time that the order of these is going to matter is when we get to this portion of the board, and I'll explain that in just a moment when we get to it. So, with that being said, let's get ready and go with the first round of Ocean Crisis. All right, so here we go, and this is called the planning phase, and this is where most of the real decision making is going to take place. And so what you're going to do is you're going to place all 10 of these meeples to different locations throughout the board, all right? And what you're going to do is this. You've got these different trash tiles, and one of the things you can do is send 1 or more meeples to try to clean up that trash, all right? And so the way that would work, and I may not take this move, but let me just show you as an example. Let's say I take the yellow and the blue, and they each send 1 worker to try to clean up that 5 strength piece of trash. Well, when we get to the action phase, after all of the meeples have been placed, we can then try to clean up that trash. And the way it works is that each meeple counts as a strength of 1. So right now I have a strength of 2, which would mean that I would need to get a 3 or higher on this die to be able to clean that up. And the results on the die are 0, 2, 3, and 1. There's 1 0 and 1 5, and then 2 2s and 2 3s. All right. And so I would have to roll a 3 or a 5 to be able to clean that piece of trash up. And if I did, it would get removed from the board. Okay. So all of the trash is going to work the same way. You're going to be placing meeples on the particular tile and trying to gain a result that's equal to or higher than the number that's on it. Over here at the beach, I can only place meeples on these first 3 because they're actually on the beach. So these 4 spots, there's not 1 here, but these 4 spots can have meeples on them. This piece of trash, right now, I can't send a meeple out there. If I'm able to save the dolphin, that's what the dolphin is going to allow me to do. The dolphin is going to allow me to take a team member because they'll swim on the dolphin, and they could potentially clean up any of the trash that's out here in the ocean. And so I'm definitely going to be trying to heal that dolphin. The dolphin has a strength of 5, and so this would be like a strength 5 piece of trash that you're trying to clean up. And so I'm certainly going to be sending some workers over there to try to help that dolphin. It has to be done within 3 rounds. If I can't get that dolphin to the hospital within 3 rounds, then unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get that dolphin to help us out. All right, so let's go ahead and start placing some workers. So I am definitely going to be placing some workers onto the eco base because this is going to allow us to potentially get some very powerful abilities. And so I'm going to place my yellow worker. I'm actually going to place both yellow workers there. I'm going to place a blue worker with the dolphin. I will place another blue worker on that 3. I'm going to place pink worker here. I'm going to place a pink worker on that 4 strength. I'm going to place both greens in the eco base. The brown, I will go here and here. I want to try to help that dolphin out. Okay? And so that's all my planning. I've put all 10 of my meeples out there. Now, in the action phase, is we're going to do eco movement first. Everything in the base takes place before any of the cleanup takes place. And this is the only time that order of play matters in the solo game. Because in the multiplayer game, you're going to go in turn order and collect a number of movement tiles based on the number of workers you have there. So yellow is going to go first. All right. And so they've got 2 meeples there, so they're going to take 2 of these tiles. And so the reason why this matters is that it would be getting too much of a benefit, too easy if I just were to grab, since these 2 were here to begin with, if I just grabbed 5 tiles, because that would give me more information than you would have in a regular multiplayer game. And so what I do is I draw my 2 tiles as the yellow player, and I've got these 2 kind of paths, this straight path and this branching path. What you're trying to do is leave from this eco base and get to these different areas around the board. So let me just briefly talk about these areas. Each of these recycle tokens are going to allow you to get an enhancement card, which is going to give you a special ability. And each player can have one enhancement card. And so I could potentially have 5 enhancement cards in the game, one for each player. Okay, so that's one thing I can do. I could also come up here, and if I can make a path up here, I would flip this tile over, and now I would have one less piece of trash that would go into this area. So that would be nice. Over here allows me to clean every piece of trash. It's a one-time use. Every piece of trash that's in this zone 2 area would just go away. So I don't really want to build there until I've got a whole bunch of trash built up here. This is the same thing, but for zone 3. And again, it's a one-time use. If I go over here, what this is going to allow me to do is put a little token here that makes it easier to recycle the trash. And I'll show you how that works in a little bit. All right. When you take trash from the beach that you've cleaned up, you get to put it in this area. And when it's filled up, you can pick a piece to make easier for later turns. And I'll explain that as it comes up. This is the ocean vacuum. If you can build out to here, then you can take this ocean vacuum and you can place it up here. And any piece of trash that's in this spot gets sucked up into it. And then you don't have to worry about it. So that's a nice thing. So I've got all of these areas I might want to go. So let me just start. I think I want to start building towards these recycle spots. So let me build that because that branches that way and down. I'll build straight. Okay, so that was the yellow. Now green is next and they've got 2. So I'll take 2 for the green player, and these have all been randomized. All right, I've got a curve and I've got a straight here. So I can already go to this straight and build to that. I think I might do that. So he'll go there. This one I will build right here. Start building towards that way. So green now has built to this tile. And so they're going to go ahead and gain an enhancement card. And this is for the green player. They've got the biodegradable material. All right. And so this allows us to get 1 free reroll, which is great. So I'm going to place his little marker on there so that I remember that's the green player's ability. All right. All right. And now the pink. Oh, actually, pink should have gone next. Pink should have gone next. Sorry about that. That doesn't really change things. He'll go ahead and build out this way. Okay. So I did go a little bit out of order there. Okay, so now we've done all of the eco movement, and now we're going to go to the trash. And all of this is on the card here. Eco movement first, and then you go to the trash cleanup. All right. And then this doesn't matter the order necessarily. So I'll go ahead and first, actually, I'm going to go ahead and see about saving that dolphin because I'd really love to save our buddy and get him to the hospital. So we're at a strength of 2. We need 5. So I need to roll a 3 or better on this die. Let's hope for the best. I rolled a 3. Hooray. Okay, so these come back. Our friend the dolphin has been saved from the beach, and now he's on the hospital, and we're going to now try in a future turn to take him from the hospital, and we need a 3 strength to do that. All right, so I'm going to put a little cube here saying it's round 1. All right, so we've got another couple of rounds. All right, so that has been done. Now I'm going to try this piece of trash right here. So I've got a strength of 1. I need a 2 or better. I rolled a 3. All right, so this piece of trash, oops, has been cleaned up and it's come from the beach. So now I got to take it and put it in this spot right here. Okay. Now I'm going to go for that 4 piece of trash. I got a 2 and a 1 doesn't do it. So here you get to see what happens when you're not successful. So this piece of trash was not completely cleaned. However, we gave it a shot. So we flip it over and now it's 1 easier. It's 3 to get that piece of trash. Our last, actually this guy should have come back. Our last worker's right here. That's a strength 4, so I need a 3 or better. I rolled a 5. All right, nice. So we got a couple of pieces of trash. Now this one's not on the beach, so it doesn't come down here. It just gets discarded. All right, and so that was all of our actions. We've done the eco movement, we've done our trash cleanup, and now we go to river flow, and that's where these pieces of trash are going to potentially head towards Garbage Island here, and I got to hope that they're not. what I do is I roll this 6-sided die, and for the number of pips that show up, I'm going to move that number of spaces counterclockwise, bringing this trash all ever closer to the oh, actually, before I do that, sorry, I'm going to do some movement here, okay? These trash tiles move towards the next section of the river. And so tiles, if I had any in section 3, they would move into the seashore. Luckily, I don't. If I had any in section 2, they would move to section 3, but I cleaned up the one piece of trash that was in section 2. So things in section 1 are going to move to section 2, getting them ever closer to the beach. So this goes from 3 to 3, from 2 to 2, and from 1 to 1. And so now this trash has gotten a little bit closer, and now I do the ocean current. All right. I rolled a 1. Okay, so it's only going to move one space closer to the beach. All right. There we go. So I've got another chance to clean that up. Now, if I had rolled another couple of spaces and this 3 had come here, this is an arrow spot, that would have flowed in. This is an arrow spot, if there was one there, that would have flowed in. If there was one here and here, they both flow in. So you can see that that's certainly something you have to watch out for. All right, that's the end of round 1. Now we're going to go on to round 2, and you'll see how the setup is a little bit different for this round. All right, here we go, round 2. I'm going to go ahead and move this marker, making the blue player the start player. That really is only going to come into effect with the dolphin, because if we can get the dolphin rescued, it's only the start player that can take their meeple with the dolphin out here to the ocean. And so that could come into a play, so we'll just move that over. All right, so now we go to round 2, and this card is going to tell us how many to put out. So in the seashore, we're going to be putting 2 pieces of trash. In area 2, we're going to be multiplying by 2, so we're doubling it. In area 3, we're going to be doubling it, and in area 4, we're going to be adding 2. All right, so I get some random tiles out of this bag, and we're putting 2 pieces on the seashore here. All right, so we got to put it to the strength side, so we got a 4 and a 4, so the ocean's getting a little bit messy. Now this is unfortunate, we're doubling, well first in 3 we're doubling, but there are none, so thankfully we don't have to worry about that. Here in section 2 we're doubling, so I'm putting 3 pieces of trash out here. This would be a good time to build here so that I can clear all those out, so I'm certainly going to be working on doing that. So, ooh, and that's a 6. Yep, I definitely want to be building right there, so I'm going to be sending some people to the eco base for, oh, another 6. Ouch. And then one more. This is a 4. Oof, that's rough. So I really need to build up here so I can get rid of all that trash. And then in section 1, we're adding 2. We've got a 3. And we've got a 5. All right, so we've done that, and now it's time for our planning phase. We're back to the planning phase. Now, I do want to send at least one person out here to the dolphin to try to get this, to try to get it available for the next round. All right. So I will send one person there. So let's send the blue player out there. Okay. And then we'll send the other blue player here to the eco base. All right. We're going to send both of them to the eco. I really need to build up there. I'm going to send one here and one. I'm going to not put anybody up there because I'm really going to hope I can build that out. I'll send one here. Oops. Here. And the brown, I'll send one to the eco base, and I'll send another here. And then the yellows, I think with this many workers there, I'll be okay over there. So I'm going to put both of my yellows on this 5 strength tile. All right. So that was the planning phase. So now blue players first, they're going to take the first tile. They've got a little branch here. So I think what I might do is go like that. Next would be pink, and they're going to be drawing 2 tiles. All right. All right, they get a curve and a straight. So I think the first thing they're going to do is take that straight. That means this gets flipped over and all of this trash goes away. Hooray. But that was a one-time use. So that's done now. Now I've got a curve. I might... I want to get up here potentially eventually, but I can build up that way. If I go here That could get me towards there. I think what I might do, I kind of need to get, oh boy, I blocked myself off from going over here at all. So I think I need to do this, because otherwise I couldn't get over there. I could do this too. I think what I'll do is do this, so that I can maybe get over there. All right, so that was the pinks, and next is green. They're gonna take their one tile. All right, they got another curve here. I wanna do that. I don't know that I do wanna do that. Oof, the curve is not great. We can do, oops. Boy, I don't really love that curve, honestly. Let's do this. All right, and now brown is gonna be next. They're gonna take one, and they got a branch. Okay, well that's good. My main concern was getting up there this turn. This could get me going down in that way. This could get me going back down again. This could get me going up and over, so let's do that. Okay, so now all of my action is done there, and now I'm coming over here. Let's go ahead and try to see if we can save that dolphin and get it for the next round. I've only put one worker out there, and it's a strength of 3, so I'm hoping to get a 2 or better here. What I should have done, had I been smart, I would have put my green worker over here, because I could re-roll it once. That's what I really should have done, but I didn't. And it cost me, because I rolled a 2, and that means I didn't save the dolphin this round. I'm going to have to wait until the next round. That's a shame. All right, let's go ahead and try to do this one. This is a strength 5, and I've got 2 on it, so I need a 3 or better. Oh, not good. That's awful. These are going to come back. I do flip it over. All right, let's go ahead and go with this green. I do get 1 re-roll with him. This is a strength 3. I need 2 or better. I got a 3, so I don't even need to do that. So this now comes down here to the straw. The straws come down here. Let's go for this one, which is a 4. I got a 2, unfortunately. That's not going to cut it. So that's going to get flipped over. It's a little bit easier. All right. And unfortunately, I didn't clean up any trash this round. Oh, I cleaned up 1. I cleaned up 1 trash this round, so that's not ideal. And I didn't save the dolphin. I don't need to worry about the round tracker anymore, because it's really just getting it to the hospital within 3 rounds you need to worry about. So that's a bummer. I didn't do great there, I don't think. And so now we do the river flow, and anything that would be here in the estuary would move to the seashore, but luckily there's nothing there. Anything that was downstream would move there, and it's not. So now we're really only moving this, the midstream to the downstream. All right, so this is going to go here, this is going to go here, and now we're going to be rolling for the ocean current and hoping we don't get any trash. Oops. Ooh, and I rolled a 1 again. I kind of lucked out there. All right, I definitely lucked out there, because if I'd rolled a 6, some of those would certainly have come down and kind of knocked me into Trash Island there. All right, that's round 2. I'm going to move the first player marker over to the pink, and we're going to get moving in for round 3. All right, so let's get the setup here and see what we've got added. In round 3, we're adding 3 trash tiles to the ocean. All right, that's getting ugly. It's getting full. So we've got a 5. That's unfortunate. We've got, oh, a 6. Youch. And a 4. This is getting, oops, this is getting ugly here. Okay, and now we are adding ×2 to section 3. Luckily we have none there. We're adding 3 to section 2. So this is getting full again, and this is all going to be moving down the river here if we're not careful. 1, 2, that's a 5. 3, that's a 4, okay? And then for section 1, we're adding 3. Now, if we could ever get this, it would be 1 less, so we would be adding 2, but we're not there yet. All right, there's a 4. There's a 5. And there's a 4. All right, so trash is starting to pile up here, and I can't clear that out again. Now, I could wait till that all moves here and then try to get over there on the next turn. That's a pretty dangerous game to play, but it's something to think about. I might start building towards that way so that on my next turn I could be 1 away from, once those all come over here, getting them out of there. All right, first things first, I really want to get that dolphin, so I'm going to put my green guy over there. And I could put more than one worker, but I hesitate to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put... Oof, I've got so much trash out here. I'm afraid to go too heavy into the eco base, so I'll put one there, and I'll put one of these. I kind of want to clean stuff off the beach so I can fill this up too, because that allows you to make particular types of trash easier, and I'll explain how when I get there. So let's put one there. The greens, I definitely want to put one on the dolphin, and I'm hoping just one's going to cut it. I'll put one on the eco base. Browns, I'll put one on the eco base. I'll put one here. Yellow, I'll put one more there. I'll put one there. And blue, I'm going to go ahead and put one here and one there. All right. I don't know how smart that was, but that's what I'm going with, by golly. So we start, as always, with the eco movement, and the first player is pink, so they're going to be pulling one. All right, and they got a corner. Boy, I've gotten a lot of corners here. So I can't connect to that. I could start going down there. I think I'm going to do, this is probably not too smart, but I'm going to do that. I'm going to go there, all right? So that was pink. Next we go to green. He's pulling one. All right, he got a corner. So I think he's just going to go ahead and connect to this. So this flips over, and now it's going to make it easier for us to fill up this from trash from the beach. All right. Okay, that was green, and now we go to brown. Brown picks one. I need to start getting some more powers too. Boy, I've been pulling nothing but corners here. All right, I'll put a corner here. That's not terrific. And then yellow is last. Yellow gets one. They get a, that's more like it. I need more of these branches. So I really need to be thinking about going over here too. Is there any way I can connect to something? There's nothing I can connect to right now. I could connect to this. I could do that. Is that worth it? To put one less piece of trash out here? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll do that. This flips over, and now we'll be putting one less piece of trash every round into that area, into the first spot. All right, and now we're going to go to our action phase, okay? And I'm going to try with my green worker, because I can get one reroll. I need a 2 here, 2 or better. Boy, I got a 0, so I'm going to try my reroll. And I got a 2! Hooray! So 2 plus 1 equals 3, and so now this dolphin can go with the first player out here to these spots. Right now, I couldn't go to these spots to try to clean them, but from now on, I could take the first player and a meeple and go to try to clean up those ocean spots. So that's great. All right, let's try to clean these up first, and I'll show you why. This has a strength of 3. I got a 3, and so now this is going to come into this area. So I'm close to being able to show you how this works. All right. And now we'll go with blue here, and he's got a strength of 3 here for this piece of trash. Got a 0. Unfortunately, that didn't cut it, and it can't be reduced anymore. Here, we're going to go for this one. That's a strength of 4. 0. That didn't work, so now we got to turn that over. So unfortunately, you're not going to see on this round how this works. You will, I would think by next round you'll see it. Now we've got 2 going for this. This is a strength 5 tile. All right, and we got 2, so we need a 3 or better there. And I'm trying to find a good place to roll this. There we go, we got a 3. Hey, we did it. 4, 5. Okay, so luckily that piece of trash goes away. It does not go into this area, unfortunately, because it was not on the beach. All right, so that is that. We've done our trash, and now we're going to do our river flow. Anything from area 3 would move to the ocean. Luckily, there's nothing here. Now, everything here is going to move over here, and so I really, if I don't get over here next round, this is going to get very ugly. This goes to 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now everything from here is going to go over there, so 3 and 1. All right. I'm going to actually double check myself and make sure this might move over here. I'll check that here in a moment. It's not going to matter for right this moment. I'm going to go ahead and roll for the ocean current. I rolled a 6. Here we go. I think you're going to start seeing some trash for the first time. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 6. Oh, yes, that's awful. This piece of trash goes to Trash Island. This piece of trash goes to Trash Island. So 2 pieces of trash now. 1/3 of the way to a lost condition. Awful, awful, awful. Well, that's what happens when you don't clean up the trash. It goes to the, it builds up, unfortunately, and makes our oceans nasty. We don't want that, so we need to do better on our next round, okay? So, we'll move the token over to the green players now being the start player. They're the ones that could take the dolphin over here, and I might actually try to pick this piece up, or that one I'm not as worried about because it's going to keep going. This one I might need to deal with. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And now we're going to go with setup for round 4. Okay, based on what I can see from the rule book, it looks like this would not go to 3. It would just go to the next open spot. So those 2 just went to the first 2 spots here. I think that's, from what I can tell, that's how that works. This is actually a 6, not a 9. 6 is hard enough. Okay, here we go. Round 4. All right, we're putting 3 pieces of trash in the beach. Ay, 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 ay. Okay. We got a 5. We've got a 4. And we got another 4. All right. Then in area 3, we're going to... Oh, no! We're doubling! This is awful. So we're doubling. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So watch what happens here. We put 2 in this spot. 1, 2, and that's a 6. And then the other 3 have to go out here. This is bad. 3, 4, 5. Look at all that trash in the ocean. That is awful, awful. And so now I think the dolphin definitely may want to go out there. Okay, now we go to area 2, and this is a ×2 as well. So we have to put 2 out there. Got a 3, and we've got a 6. Oof. And then in area 1, it says to add 3. However, we've unlocked this, so we're only going to be adding 2 there. I think I probably did not go for enough of these card symbols early on. It really helps to have bonus abilities. There's some great abilities that you can get out of these cards, and I've really kind of neglected those, unfortunately. All right, so I think we need to see if our dolphin can help us here. So let's send our green worker out here with the dolphin and see if we now have a strength of 2. The dolphin counts as 1. We're going to try to clean up that piece of trash right there. The other one, I'm going to keep the green players on trash because they can re-roll. So I feel like if I go here, I clean all of this out. So I definitely want to get out here, or get up here, sorry. But that's going to be tough to do. That's going to be really tough to do. Let's see. I want to clean some stuff on the trash because it'll make things easier. Let's go here. I really want to clean this bottle cap because I'll show you why. I want to get that bottle cap into this spot. So that's going to go there. For the brown, I'm going to just really play it safe and put another one there. And again, you'll see why here hopefully in a moment. And I'll put another brown here. Yellows, I'm going to put 1 on the eco base. I'll put 1 on this 6. The blues, I'm going to put 1 on the eco base, and I'm going to put 1. I got to clean this out. I'm going to put 2 on the eco base. If I don't clean this out, I feel like I'm sunk. And then pinks, I'm going to put 1 there, and then I'm going to put another 1. Yeah. Do I want to go for one of these? Maybe I'll go with this 4 here and see if that can work. Okay. All right, so all of them are placed. Again, I should also have been thinking about coming down to these spots because these give you extra neutral workers that you can use. So I haven't been doing great here in the eco track. So there's no green players in the eco base. So let's go to brown. They're going to get 1. All right. They get a curve. I've gotten a whole lot of curves, which don't do me a tremendous amount of good right now. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. That just doesn't help me much. I can do this, I suppose, which will kind of get me closer to that. Really doesn't. Let's do this, I suppose. We'll do that. Okay, that was brown. Now we go to yellow. Yellow is going to take one tile. Oh, they get a... This would have been nice earlier. All right, so I need to start branching out that way. Okay, that was yellow. Now we go to blue. They're going to draw two out of here, and I hope that I can somehow get over here. So I've got a straight and a curve. Doesn't quite get me. If I do a curve, if I do a straight and then a curve and then one more, but that keeps me away. Well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go straight and then curve and then hope I can get one more straight from here. This is my last one. This is really my shot here. I did. I got a straight. I lucked out. So this gets flipped over. All of these go away. That buys me a little bit of breathing room. All right. That was a good time to be able to get to that. Whew! Okay. So I want to first get one of these bottle cap trashes into here, and you'll see why in a moment. So I've got a strength of 2. I've got a 4, and I do have 1 reroll because I've got a green player there. So I rolled a 2 plus 2, that's 4. So I don't need to reroll. So here's why I wanted to get that one here, because here's what's going to happen. This 4, now, since it was on the beach, comes here. And now this is full because I upgraded this. I could pick one of any of these types of trash and make every trash that's on the board and that comes out of that type one easier. So I'm going to pick this bottle cap and I'm going to put it here, okay? These all go away. So now all of the bottle caps get reduced. So this goes to a 3, 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 and any of those types, that's all I've got. If any other of those bottle caps come out, they immediately come out at the easier strength. So that's why I wanted to do that. Okay, now let's ride this dolphin to victory. So we just need a 1 here and I can re-roll. And I got a 2. So okay, that's good. All right, so this comes back, dolphin comes back, and this goes away. This technically I don't think is on the beach, so I'm going to put it away. I don't think it goes in here. All right, now we're going to go here. This is a 6. It's very much a long shot. I have to roll a 5, but let's see. I rolled a 0. Did not work, but it does flip over. That comes back, and now I'm rolling for a 4 here. Well, the strength 1. And I got it. I got a 3, so that's good. This trash goes away. All right, so we have done our trash cleanup and our eco movement, and now we go to the river flow. Anything here would go to the ocean. Luckily, there is nothing there. Everything here, however, is going to go over here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and this is going to go here. All right, now we do our ocean current. And I rolled a 2. Let's see what happens here. 1, 2. And boy, did I luck out there. That was right, yeah, 2. Because there's nothing in this spot and nothing in that spot. Woo! That was a close one. But I don't know how much more of that risk I can take. I've got a lot of trash here that could potentially get into this trash island, and I really don't want that. So now we move our first player marker here. Now the brown player is the one that can go out there in the ocean, and I probably am going to send him out there. And we move on to round 5 of 6. Okay, here we go to round 5. Let's see what we got going on here. We're going to be adding 3 to the beach. Oh boy, this is not good because we don't have much extra space here. So we've got a 4 here. We've got a 3 here. And we've got a 5 here. Now I'm going to double check the rules here in a moment. I think that this would not go, but I might need to check to make sure if this would go right away. I'll check before I get moving if that would be an equal or an immediate splash down there. Okay, now in 3 we've got ×2, so we've got 4 here. Oh boy, so I may have to put 2 pieces of trash because we've got 1. Now this is a bottle cap, so that can flip over to 3. 2, 3, that's a bottle cap that can flip over, and then 4, So I'll check here in a moment to see whether these immediately come down. And that was in 3, and now in 2, it's times 2. We only have 1 there, so we'll be putting 1 more. And then in 1, it's plus 3, but we've unlocked that, so it's going to be plus 2. We've got a 4, which is a bottle cap that can be flipped over, and we got another bottle cap, which can be flipped over. All right, so I'm going to take a pause here, take a look at the rule book, and see if I can determine whether these come down right away or not. Okay, it doesn't specifically address it, but I think that the rules imply what happens here. It's because it says if the ocean current disk is ever full, then any tiles you would place onto it instead go onto Garbage Island. Well, this could never be full if these would immediately drop down. So I believe right now I just have a very ugly looking ocean tile here, and so I'm going to just be dumping workers over there to try to clean up. I really think that that's my only hope to make it through, because I've got to make it through this round and the next round and have at least one open space here to be able to win the game. So I'm going to start putting workers out here. I almost feel like I need to give up on the eco movement right now and just focus on cleaning up trash. I really have lost out on a lot of good cards, and at the end of the game, whether I win or lose, I'm going to show you some of these enhancement cards just so you can get an idea of what they do. And because I probably would have been better off trying to get some of those. But be it as it may, now I'm in survival mode. So I'm going to put a couple of workers on these. I'm going to put a couple here. I'm going to put yellow workers. I'm going to put 1 yellow worker here. I'm going to put 1 yellow worker here. I'm going to put a blue worker. I've got to worry about these too. So I'm going to put a blue worker here, I'm going to put a blue worker here, I'm going to put a pink worker here and here, and green workers are my rerolls. I've got 1 time I can do it, so I'm going to put 1 here, and I'm going to put 1 there, alright, and hope for the best. Now, I've got nobody over here, so I can just start picking what I want to do, and so I'm going to start over here. I'm going to roll. I've got a strength. Oh, I didn't use a dolphin this turn. Did I want to use a dolphin? I think right now I'm not going to use the dolphin. Okay, so I'm going to start here. I've got a strength of 2. This is a 5. I got a 2, unfortunately, but I can re-roll. And I got a 2 again. So that didn't work, unfortunately. This does get flipped over to the easier side. Okay, now I've got 2 brown workers there on a strength 4, so I've got to roll a 2 or better, and I got 1 shot at it. I got a 3. All right, so that comes off. And this gets to come down here. I've got a 1 strength on a 4 there. Got a 3. That's good. So this comes down here. Oops. Okay. I've got a green worker on a strength of 3, and I've got to roll a 2 or better, but I got 1 re-roll there, and I don't even need it. I got my 2 there. All right. Unfortunately, though, I didn't get another 1 in here, so I could have potentially made all those cups easier. So let's go over here. I've got a strength 3. I need a 2 or better. I rolled a 5. All right. So that goes away. I've got a 3 there. And I rolled a 0. That's not going to do anything. I've got 1 on a 3 here. And I rolled a 0. But I do get to flip that one over. But this is going to be bad because all of this is going to be going into the ocean and then potentially onto the Garbage Island. So I've got a 4 strength there. I got to roll a 3 or better. I rolled a 2. Yeah, this is not looking good for me. That gets flipped over. And now that is that. And so now we're going to be flowing. So I think we're in a world of hurt right now because all of this is going to be moving here. So this might be, we might be unsuccessful in round 5. We may not even get to round 6, but let's go through it. So these are going to move here. So this is going to go here and here and here. And these 3 are now going to go into Garbage Island. Yeah, this is not looking good. All right. Now these are going to move here. And then these are going to move here. And now there's no chance, because anything I roll is going to put trash into Garbage Island. I rolled a 2, just going through the motions here. 1, where was I? Doesn't matter. 2, I think it was like here. Honestly, I may have messed that up, but it doesn't matter because 2 pieces of trash are going in here no matter what. So this one, and we're full. That ends the game. Unfortunately, I was not successful. The ocean got filled with trash and I was not. I think my main issue was out here. I really should have gotten more of these tiles to give more of my players powers, because you'll see here in a moment as I show you some of these cards that they could be very, very helpful. And I only unlocked this one green player's card. So let's look through some of these enhancement cards that I could have gotten. Well, I could have gotten the recycling card, and what this would have done was made any time I rolled a 0, and I've done that a few times in this game, it would have counted as a 5. That would have been great. The reusable products, I might need to look this one up really quickly. Let me look it up here really quickly. Oh, yeah, this is nice. This would automatically, any tile you're on, you'd flip it over to the easy side. So that's great. It'd make any tile you're on easier. The organizational or environmental organization is that this was a good one because you can put your worker on 2 orthogonally adjacent tiles. So for example, if the yellow player had this, they could have gone here and gotten both of those in one fell swoop. That's a very, very powerful card, had I gotten that one. And then you've got the coastal cleanup, which means that on the beach, any die you have, you get a +1. So it makes it easier to clean up trash on the beach. So as you can see, I really should have done more getting to those cards, because getting only 1 power is not a great chance for success, as you can very well see here. But hopefully you got a pretty good idea on how the game is played. I got through round 5 of 6. I did save the dolphin, but I could not protect the beach from all of this nasty, nasty trash that was washing ashore. So hopefully you got a good idea on how the game is played, and let's head on over and get an idea about my thoughts on the game. All right, so there you had Ocean Crisis. Ultimately, I was not able to successfully save the beach from all of that trash that just kept washing ashore. Well, what do I think of the game? First of all, this is a theme that I cannot tell you how much it spoke to me. I grew up in California, and some of my best memories as a kid were being on the beach. And when you live near an ocean, you come to understand and appreciate just how beautiful it is and what a force of nature it is. And I remember living out in California, there were a lot of discussions about pollution on the beach, whether it was from trash or from oil or whatever the case may be. It was something that really affected me because I loved the ocean so much. And so when I heard about this game, it really just was something that clicked. And then you look at the gorgeous art, the beautiful meeples, and the ease of play. Now this is a game that you could certainly play with kids, and it's geared a bit more towards children, as I think you can see. But what's wonderful is that for a game that does have a bit of a draw for children, for sure, and one that is teaching some valuable lessons, it does it in a way that does not feel ham-fisted or like it's really pushing the learning on you. It is a lovely, organic experience. The theme, the learning about trying to protect the ocean and the trash, removing that trash, is something that anybody can relate to, child or adult alike. And I do like that when you're playing with kids, it's a really easy way to have this discussion with them, and it doesn't feel like you're teaching them a lesson. They're just learning through it, and I think it's something that is intuitive to children, that you don't want trash clogging up the ocean, that it's going to cause all kinds of problems. And so the theme, first of all, to me is fantastic, and I really do like how it evokes it, how you're sending people out to work on ecological projects to try to improve the efficiency and the cleanup of trash, and how that takes some work and it takes some planning, and you have to really strategize about how best to clean up the trash, and you have to make priorities, and you can't always put all of your resources into one area. You have to spread your resources around, and I think that that's nicely evoked through the mechanics in the game. I also really enjoy the ease of teaching. The game is very, very easy to understand and learn and teach. It is not necessarily easy to win, and I think that that's good. Now, for younger children, there is a beginner's mode that makes it much easier to grasp, much easier to potentially be successful. And so this game does a very nice job of having scalable difficulties. I played on the standard mode, which, as you can see, although I did not play optimally, it presents a real challenge. There are difficult and impossible modes that you could really, really ramp up the challenge here for this game. And so if you're playing with adults or with teenagers and you want to have a really challenging experience, even if you are an experienced player at the game, you can easily scale that challenge to whatever suits your play style. And so that is really nice. Another thing about the game that I think is really terrific is the variability. So although you are essentially doing the same thing every game, these different missions and scenarios can really change things up. So I played with the dolphin rescue mission in this playthrough that you saw, but there are other missions that come with the game that change the way that you play it. So the sea turtle nesting and the quest for hermit crabs, what these missions do is, like the dolphin, they give you special powers, different ways to kind of mitigate things and potentially try to be more successful. You also have scenarios, and the way these scenarios work is that they change the winning conditions of the game. So it's not simply just make it through 6 rounds. You can save the herons, you can defend the shark, you can protect the hermit crabs, and so those are really nice in getting some variability into the game as well. And if you add the catastrophe expansion to the game, you can have even more variability because you have new missions and scenarios that you can add to the game to keep it fresh. And so in what is a very simple general concept for a game, you have a lot of different modularity and replayability with it. And I think that that is just terrific. So honestly, I'm struggling to find anything I don't like about the game. The setup is quick. The teardown is quick. The ease of teach is very, very high. The ease of playing is very, very high, but there's a nice challenge there. I love the theme. I love the art. So all in all, I think that Ocean Crisis is just a tremendous package all the way around. Obviously, I think it's going to be even more appealing to people that play with families quite often, as kids are going to just soak this up. But I would have no qualms playing with a group of adults as long as they're open-minded about playing something that maybe has a more of a cartoonish look to it. I obviously enjoy playing it solo, and I think that that's nice to have that ability as well. So all the way around, I think Ocean Crisis is a terrific game with a really solid solo mode that checks off all of the types of boxes that I like to see in a game. So I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. As always, thank you so much for your time, and have a great day.